Good evening, what's going on guys? It's Adam from Green Auto Services. We've got a live one, so we are out in the van. So long story short, a customer has contacted me. They have an Audi. Their TPMS light came on, they did all the pressures, they reset the system, and it came up with another TPMS light, literally same day. So we're out here to see why it's coming on and to see how we're going to rectify it. Now with these particular systems, there is no sensors in the wheels, it all works through the ABS, so we're going to be talking a little bit about that as we do it. But without any further ado, let's get straight into it, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you are enjoying and want to see any more. There we go, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so we're actually just in the car at the moment. Now I'm going to show you very quickly on this particular Audi. Oh, there we go, straight away. So it's saying loss of pressure rear right. Now the good thing about these Audis, it actually gives you a specific tyre which it's concerned about. And as you see over there is the TPMS light, and if I actually start the vehicle up, that TPMS light will stay on. So what we're going to do very easily, we're just going to go and inspect all the tyre pressures and just confirm that it is the rear right that's going flat, and then we'll probably just take the wheel off the car and then actually see why it's going flat. In the meantime, whilst the compressor was just firing up, I've actually gone and removed the rear right wheel. Now, I know I said earlier I was going to check the pressures before actually removing anything, but I actually spotted exactly what was up with this wheel. So before I show you exactly what I found, some cars, like Audi's, well, especially the VAG group, Audi, Seat, Skoda, VW, they don't necessarily have actual TPMS sensors inside the alloy, they just have normal valves. However, there is still a TPMS system on there. So the way this works, the ABS doubles up as a system to tell the vehicle how fast or how quickly the wheel is rotating. So in this case, when there's a slight lower pressure in a tyre, it's actually going to make the wheel as a whole rotate slightly slower. So the vehicle's picking up the ABS system is working because it's getting a signal, so it's not an ABS fault, but the fact that the wheel compared to the rest of the vehicle wheels is rolling a little bit slower, it's going to think, well, there's only one other explanation for it, must be a slightly flat tyre, so it pings up the TPMS light. And then in this case, because it knows exactly which wheel is rotating slightly slower than the rest, it actually tells you which particular tyre is potentially at fault. And in this case, it's picked up on the rear right. So this is the rear right wheel. Now, as soon as I got it off the tyre, or as soon as I got it off the car, in fact, hope you can see that. Let me just get you zoomed in. That is a cheeky little nail or a screw, but something is in there which is probably causing it. So just to confirm exactly how much or how little that's leaking, we're going to put a little bit of fluid on there, which I just so happen to have. Now this stuff is nothing special, it's just water and very liquid effectively, just something that is designed to bubble if there's air present. So all we're literally going to do, just get it closed in there. Okay, I don't know if you can, there we go, and that's quite a substantial leak. So of course we're going to repair it. Now the good news is it can be repaired. It looks like it's gone directly straight into the tyre, and it's within a certain section of the tyre to be repaired. If it starts borderlining on the edge or going over, it becomes an unrepairable one. But the fact that this is in between two primary grooves in the main tread, it's gone straight in, nothing too big at all, that should be absolutely fine to repair. The customer is aware, however, that there is some cracking and perishing going on in these tyres. You know, so maybe in the near future it would be good to address those, but for the time being we're going to do a quick repair. So on that note, let's get the tyre off and I'll show you the whole preparation of how to do a puncture repair. I'm just going to mark where in line to where the puncture is. So once I take the puncture out, I know exactly where the hole is and I don't lose it, because then we're going to have a bit of trouble. So that's marked up, and we can actually go ahead and actually try and take this out, which should be quite straightforward. Okay, here she goes. Okay, it looks like we have got a screw. It's gone in on a slight angle, but that should be absolutely fine. Let's just leave that out. Okay, that's definitely a leak. And if I bring that up to the camera, there we go. Nice little screw there. I hope that's focused. If it's not, apologies, but you have to take my word for it. It's a nice little screw, but it is repairable. So, although you can't quite see it there, I have marked it. So I'll put that with the collection, and let's get this repaired. Okay, so whilst there's air coming out of it and I know where it's coming from, we are just going to get a special drill bit which just makes a pilot hole for the new plug that we're going to put in there from the inside. Now in this case you want to go down as straight as possible, or if the foreign body, if you will, came out at an angle, you want to try and follow the angle in, but not too much, because it might compromise the repair. Okay, now we have got a puncture. Would be good if I had power. Okay, so with the tyre off, before we address the actual puncture, I'm just going to get the alloy prepped for when we're ready to go on. So, good practice, let's replace the valve out. So you know what, this alloy is actually looking really clean, I don't think. Do you know what, let's get it a little bit of a clean up. So if you haven't seen this before, all I'm literally doing is cleaning up the edges of the rim where the bead effectively sits. Between this part and the side of the tyre there is where it makes the perfect seal. So we want to make sure this is nice and clean, no rough patches at all, no corrosion, no flaking of paint, anything like that, to ensure a good seal. And every wheel will also need to be rebalanced, so I'm going to take off all the old weights and get it cleaned up for when we're ready to balance it up. Okay, so that's the alloy done. Let's now go to the tyre. Now, where's my little mark? Okay, see, there's my little yellow mark, and there's my pre-drilled pilot hole. So, now that we made pilot hole, this pilot hole is to make way for a plug. Okay, so I hope you can see that this is just one of, well, this is just a repair plug. Comes in a few different lengths and diameters, but this is normally the generic diameter for it. So, underneath this red part here, it's like a sticky label. It's designed to stick to the inside of the tyre, so we now need to make sure the inside of the tyre is fairly smooth, and then we're going to put some bonding cement between that to ensure a good seal. Okay, you're going to have to take my word for it, this is difficult to see, but in here is the bottom side of the hole. Now there's a couple of ridges from manufacture which are designed to be there. I just want to try and smooth that out a little bit. So nothing too sinister, I've just literally licked a little bit off the top, just so it makes a good contact surface for the new patch. So this is just some Maxibond cement. It's just basically a strong adhesive, and we want to get that Nice colour so it can be seen. And we're just coating, and you can be quite generous with this, as long as it's not too thick. What this cement is designed to do is create a perfect bond between the bottom half underneath this red sticker and the actual tyre itself. Now we're just letting that go off a little bit because I want it to be nice and sticky for when I pull it through. This is where we need to take off the plastic, otherwise it defeats the whole purpose. There we go. Okay, so underneath here at the base is fairly sticky, and when it makes a bond with that, it should make a perfect seal. There we go. So, as you can see, it's now pulled through there, and we're just going to get a really tight pair of grips on there and pull it all the way through. And that's gone quite easily all the way until the base stops. Now, because that's stretched out in the hole, when we let it go, it's going to expand and perfectly fill that hole. And then if we go look back in there, might be difficult to see, sorry I don't have a light, and then we're just going to push the outer edges down to make a good seal. Now there is a little bit of plastic on the back which we're going to remove as well. Lots of people leave it on, some people take it off. I like to take it off. You know, it's designed to come off, so we're using the patch now, so we're going to take it off. Okay, there we are. That's just a little bit of plastic there, and then push the remaining edges down, and that is a pretty good finish. So apologies if you can't see, it's a bit dark actually, but in there is my new seal, and that looks nice and flush, and because it's very thin material on the edge, it does go over any ridges and makes a nice tight airlock seal, which is what we want. So we then flip it back over, and again, a lot of people do this differently. They wait until the tyre's inflated to take this off, but I've tried both ways and the results are still the same either way. I'm actually just going to, he says, if he can find his cutter in the bin for some reason, and then we're literally just going to gently cut off the excess. So that bit goes in the bin, that bit's there. I like to be neat and tidy. Let's get the drill bit back in its case. Now I haven't tested the sound, I hope you guys can hear me alright. There we go, so a closer look of the repair. You can hardly see it. It might be protruding a little bit, but that'll be absolutely fine. But I'm very happy with that repair. So we're now going to get the tyre back on there, inflate it, and then do a leak test. A little bit of information here. On a lot of tyres there will be writing on one of the side walls saying outside and inside. That is just directions of which way to fit it. In this case, I don't know if you can see it there, that does say inside. Sorry if you can't see it just in there, but you're going to have to take my word for it. So this is going to sit on the inside of the alloy, so we want it down like so. Okay, so that's the tyre now inflated and back on, so we're going to find our mark, which is down there, and there's our repair. And we're just going to get our leak detector, it's a technical term, but we can all just call it washing up liquid, and we're just going to spray it on there. Okay, so that is more than enough. Now I'm just quickly looking at it. The good news is that is a successful repair. That is not leaking at all, and that is considered a permanent repair. There we are, all done. So all I'm going to do now is just get it balanced up, fit it back onto the car, and then I'll do all the pressures, and then I'll show you how to reset the TPMS light. Okay, here we go, guys. So I have put the wheel back on, done all the pressures, which is a really good thing because bless the customer, they've actually overinflated the tyres. They're meant to be 38 psi on the front, 35 on the rear, and we had a shocking 70 psi on the front and 45 to 50 psi on the rear. But this is why they call me out. It's fine. I have now resolved everything. And if you ever need to find the tyre pressures that are meant for this vehicle, a lot of the time you can find them inside the fuel cap, or like this particular car, inside the driver's door. Just make sure you match up the size of the tyre on the sticker relevant to the pressures and you'll be absolutely fine. So once the pressures are done, we're then back in the vehicle, and as you can see, the TPMS light is still on. Now with this particular Audi, you have a center display console. What you want to do is in the center console, you want to hit the menu button, which will bring you to this home screen. Now you want to press the dial to go into car. Now I'm actually already in it, but you should come up to a menu which has these 4 options, and you actually want to use the dial to go down to servicing and checks. It'll tyre press loss indicator will be at the top, so you want to select that, and it will just say when you've checked the correct pressures in all 4 tyres, please store the pressures. You want to select store tyre pressures. Then it will ask you one last time that everything is all good. You want to go to yes, store now, and as the values are being stored and then confirmed, your TPMS light has now gone off. And that is literally how it's done for this vehicle. So I'm pretty sure that is everything done and dusted. From here onwards, I'm going to give that to the customer. They're going to take it away, and they're probably not going to call me because I've done such a great job. Everyone's a happy chappy. Okay, and there we have it, guys, all done for the evening. So as you can see, I'm in the back of the van. I am just getting ready to lock it down, but fortunately it does double up as somewhere to have decent lighting to close off this video. So just to recap, we have looked at this Audi with a TPMS light on, learned a little bit about how the system operates. In this case, the car uses the ABS sensors to pick up the rotation speed of each particular wheel. When a tyre starts to get a little low on pressure, the rotation speed will change. It'll get a little bit slower, therefore ping on the TPMS light. So there are no physical sensors in each of the wheels. We've also shown you how to carry out a straightforward puncture repair, which is a permanent repair, and how to reset the TPMS system once all the pressures have been checked. So if you have learned a little something, or even just enjoyed the video, please don't hesitate to drop us a like, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button. Your support means everything. On that note, I am Adam from Green Auto Services. Many thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.